We're really thrilled to shift gears and welcome Paula Matthusen into the room. We were just talking about when we might have all seen each other last. It's been a while, but so happy you can join us here.
Thank you so much for having me here. This is such a delight and honor. I'm really, this is such an extraordinary day and lineup. I'm just so excited to be part of it. Thank you.
So you've written this solo piece for my favorite bassoon player, or I should say, with electronics.
Yes, yeah. Dana Jessen, as you know from Russia, is an exquisite and extraordinary composer, performer, improviser. And this piece of an implacable subtraction comes out of the two of us spending a week together improvising at Cimas in Morelia, Mexico, and kind of getting familiar with some of the techniques that she does, which are, for her, come out of improvisation, and as she says, are sort of Dana-specific techniques, and just really taking time to think about how we put sounds together in terms that allows for certain openness for her particular vocabulary to come through in terms of how she plays. And she'll be joining us from Oberlin, Ohio. So she also wanted me to give a shout out to Tamara for letting her use the studios there to perform today.
What's the title? What's the title mean?
Sure. The title is Of an Implacable Subtraction. It's in part referencing the fact that when we got together and improvised, we made all this material, and then so there's that kind of deliberation that takes place in terms of how to work with that and sort of take away from it. And a lot of it is this idea of subtraction. And it reminded me of this passage from Hopscotch by Cortázar, in which he says, "If the volume of the tone of a work can lead one to believe that the author is attempting a sum, hasten to point out to him that he is face to face with the opposite attempt, that of an implacable subtraction." And so it was kind of this reflection on making some choices at the expense of others. And so there's, in a sense, a loss in that, but there's also a creative possibility in it as well.
I see a small gong or tam-tam hanging on the wall behind you. Are you in your studio, or?
I'm actually at school too, at Wesleyan University. So that gong has made an appearance in numerous student performances and has been dunked in water and faced all kinds of sonic treatments that are quite enjoyable.
It could actually be 20 feet wide and is just really far in the background.
There's all sorts of play with scale that we can do in this grid-like format.
Yeah.
If only I had my sock puppets, we'd be good.
And Paula, how has this time been for you? Have you enjoyed being in isolation, I'm assuming, and has it been a creative time, a frustrating time, all the above? What are you working on?
It's so different. I mean, it's one of the things too I was thinking of today. Even I got off the phone with Dana, and then I was talking with a few different people, and I was so excited when I saw all your faces pop up, because normally we go through this kind of pre-performance ritual, and we have the benefit of being around each other and that sort of calming feeling of sharing that energy. And so it was very interesting to be kind of doing this and then being, wow, I'm still in my office. I put on a tie so you wouldn't see me in a bathrobe, and so there's a lot of really funny kind of quirks that come out of this, and it's also really enjoyable. Even at times, it's about kind of embracing the sort of frustrating and idiosyncratic aspects of it for creative possibility. And here in Middletown, Connecticut, part of what's been really great is to see so many of my colleagues and friends come up with really, really different ways of finding out how to make music and stay creative during this time period, because that's part of how we're going to stay sane. So.
Okay. Well, Paula, thank you so much. Dana is standing by, so we're going to switch over from Middletown, Connecticut to Oberlin, Ohio, to hear this fantastic piece that's also on Dana's album called Carve, and which is available everywhere, actually. So looking forward to this performance, and it's great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Paula.